What's up, you detached centerfolds? It's Fens the Spook, manifesting again for your viewing pleasure or listening pleasure. Been a while, guys. What's going on? Well, I didn't forget about you, and I didn't disappear or die yet. I did one of my usual disappearing tricks. So we're back with a little Vampirella collection update. The big surprise is obviously staring you right in the face, so we can pretend it's not there, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. The first few minutes are just going to be a little audio update on what's going on with the channel, what I've been up to. So, as usual, kind of is sort of intended as a background thing. Pull it up, go about your day, do whatever you're doing, and just, just listen to me ramble for a little bit here, and then we'll get to the issue flipping in just a moment. But yeah, so I've been doing my thing, man. I've been buying comics, on and off here. I just haven't, I don't know, haven't really been in the mood to do any videos, and I don't like to do them if I'm not in the mood, because they come out super shitty if I do. I've done a few before when I didn't really want to do them, and you can kind of tell because my voice is, I don't know. It just feels like a slog. I don't know, it's hard to explain how making a 10-minute, 15-minute video can be a pain in the butt, but my room lighting really sucks. It's really hard to film in here without glare. I do the best I can, and it's still got glare everywhere. I have to set things up in these really like super awkward ways. And anyway, it's just it's a production for me to do this. So I only do it when I'm in the mood. And I actually got a cool comment on an old video tonight that kind of got me in the mood. I should have looked his name up. I feel like an asshole, but anyway, this guy left me a comment. He just, one of my videos where I'd said I didn't really want to talk price anymore because I felt it was kind of not out of line, but just, low class, or I don't know what I said, but anyway, and he left a comment saying like basically he liked the fact that I talked about price because it kind of was reassuring in the sense that if I took a beating on something, I'll just tell y'all. I think there's been a couple times where I've overpaid, and I just straight up told you guys I did. And he's right. It's kind of hard to watch some of these channels where people are like, "Oh man, look at this." I'm just making this up, but look at this Amazing Spider-Man 129 I got in the quarter bin, and you're just like, man, I don't know about that. But anyway, so it was cool, man. It was cool to get a little feedback, and I appreciate that, man. And I'll always be straight with you guys. If I get a steal, I get a steal, and if I get beaten down, then that's just the way it goes, and I'll try to be clear about that because I think that's that's part of the fun is that's kind of what adds to each issue is, oh, this issue I got a real deal on, this one I mean I really paid through the nose on, or whatever. So but anyway, bought some stuff, went down to Orlando and went to a couple comic shops there, which we need to kind of have a whole discussion about those comic shops in Orlando. But bottom line, I picked some stuff up, and I really paid heavily for it. I picked up some old ECs and some stuff like that, and like an idiot, I left them at my in-laws' house. So we'll just have to get to those next time I get to them, because it's going to be like a month or two till I get down there again. But for the moment, and this is back to the point of the video here, so the rambling part is over, at least the pointless rambling. I have picked up quite a few Vampirellas here to add to my collection, and I'm pretty proud of them, man. I feel like I did really good on these. They're in 2 stacks for a reason. Not only just because one stack's too big to handle, but because I got them in 2 different places. So we'll start with the stuff on the right, which I know the big book's sitting there looking at you on the left, but we'll start with the stuff on the right because they, frankly, include some of my favorite covers. I'm not really that crazy about Vampirella #1 cover art. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's probably one of my least favorite Frazetta covers. It doesn't suck, but it's certainly not my big deal book in terms of the art. So let's take a look at this stack right here, if I can do this without knocking everything over. And then we'll move on to the Vampirella #1, which clearly is waiting in the wings. I'm a real fan of the Jose Gonzalez and the Heinrich Torres art for Vampirella. I love the, I mean, let's just be frank, it's really sexy. And I don't know, there's just something very, very realistic about it. I don't really know how else to say it. It looks like they painted a model or something. I mean, maybe they did. I mean, someone who knows more about Vampirella may actually know. Maybe there is a girl who modeled for her. But I'm not talking about those model covers because, frankly, I don't really like those, the real-life photo shoot covers. But this is like your quintessential Jose Gonzalez Vampirella art, and then she's, superimposed over all the covers in the background there. So this is a annual, basically, I think. I mean, it's number 19, but I think it works to the effect of an annual. It's a beautiful cover. Tom Ropp of, hold on. I'm going to get the name wrong. Hang on a second, Tom. Pop Culture Playground. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Tom Ropp of Pop Culture Playground. He's the guy who puts on the Daytona Con. He sold these to me. Great dude. If you're in Florida, just look him up. Cool guy. He's at all the local shows, and I bought a bunch of these from him. This first stack. So yeah, Vampirella 19. These are not cheap. You know, let's be honest. We've had this discussion before. Here's Vampirella 28. Where, you know, obviously I picked this one up because I couldn't buy them all. He must have bought a whole run or something because he had almost all of them, and they're in pretty good shape. I would say these are in the fine to fine, very fine range. I mean, you know, individually speaking, these are really nice. They were not cheap, man. Eerie, creepy, the other ones, you can get those for like $8, $10, $12, $15, $20 if they're one of the early issues or they're in nice shape. But man, Vampirellas run you about $20 like to start with, assuming they're not ragged out, and it just goes up from there. So these were kind of in that range, the $20 to $50 range. And you can't really get much of a deal on them because they're easy to sell, man. It's not like these are hard to move. Vampirella 38, just super cool art. I picked out the covers because, you know, I couldn't buy them all. I didn't have that kind of bread. I just picked the covers that I liked the best, the Mummy here. But again, it's really more about Vampirella herself, how she's drawn. A lot of these are Heinrich Torres, Jose Gonzalez, or I think his name's San Julian. There's another really cool one, Giant Hand, number 47. So, yeah. But anyway, so I picked these up, just paid for these individually at Daytona Convention. Well, here's a really cool one. Yeah, so there it is right there on the bottom right, San Julian. What man, this one, whew, top 5 for sure, man. This is a great one. And she looks kind of weird, you know, like she looks kind of different. I kind of like it. She's not, I don't know, she's got her own style, and I don't know, I like it. I like the photorealistic painting. I'm not sure what you call it. And this is it. This is probably my favorite Vampirella cover. I love this one, man. This is Heinrich Torres. I think I'm saying that right. It's kind of weird because she's older looking here, but this is the cover. This is like the cover for me. If I had to pick one to just have a cool, huge poster on my wall, it would be for sure be this cover. So yeah, I don't know. Dusky, sexy, exotic, like all those words, we're all thinking it, but the tiger rug and again, it looks like he painted a model. I don't know, man. This cover is out of sight. I absolutely love this cover. And then here's number 54, another great Heinrich Torres cover. I don't know if you guys have ever read these, but these are ridiculous. I guess that kind of goes without saying, you know, Vampirella and all that. I was kind of going to go into it here actually, but I on second thought, I'm not going to. They're a little adult themed, obviously. But God, anyway, maybe in another video I'll give a breakdown of that. Let me just lay these back out at you one at a time real quick while I put them back so you can see them again. Then we'll go through the second pile. Anyway, the interior on these the art is fantastic. You know, it's the same guys who do the cover. It's Jose Gonzalez and all those guys. But the storyline, I'm leaning back and forth here, so my voice might go in and out. They're ludicrous at best. And they're not all Vampirella. That's the other thing. I don't know. I didn't know that. But they're not all Vampirella stories. Sometimes there's only one, and then you get almost put a unrelated book up there. And then you get like a bunch of other just kind of, you know, horror maybe style stories in there. So it's kind of weird. They're not all Vampirella like you might think. But they're super bizarre. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into the interiors and like what the issues I've read. Because like I said, it's kind of adultish. I don't know who's watching. I don't want to say anything I shouldn't, but you need to check these out, man. Don't just collect the covers, like bust them out. Look at the insides. They are wild. So now to those are the good ones, in my opinion. I think those are like the collection of some great covers. But the other stack over here, these are obviously the early Vampirellas. Oops. And probably what most of y'all are interested in talking about. So this is Vampirella #1, a real expensive book, a book that is a lot more expensive than I think you would guess if you didn't know. I traded for these. This stack here I'm about to show you, I traded for, and what I traded for, I don't know. I'm curious in your opinion. What do you think? When I'm done and we finished on, I go through the story. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I made a good deal or not. I feel like I got away with murder. I know the other guy's happy, so it wasn't like a one-sided deal, but I would do this deal again every day of the week. So what I traded for this, so here we go. This is Vampirella #1. Let's go through the books first, and then I'll tell you what I traded for him. This is Vampirella #1. I'll bring this one in. Probably a 5. It's got a lot of spine breaks going on, but otherwise the book looks really good. The staples are tight, the cover's tight, the edges are tight. Just got a lot of spine breaks, you know what I mean? So I would call this a 5. I bought it as a 5, I think. Maybe instead of 5, I don't know. But it's a nice solid copy. Probably values out around the $250 range if I had to guess. I mean, this was all done in a bundle, so it's kind of hard to tell what each one was. But yeah, this book will go near on 1,000 in high grade. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. As far as I know, it's the most expensive of the Warren books, for sure. Creepy and eerie, other than Eerie #1, but that's that's in a class of its own. They don't even come close to this. Anything else doesn't come close to this. By far the most expensive Warren that's actually obtainable. So yeah, Vampirella #1, guys. I got one. There's Vampirella #2. Kind of a janky copy, real loose. I don't know if you've ever held a real handled magazine, but it's just real loose. You can kind of tell. The guy basically just threw this in on the deal. I didn't pay very much for this, or he didn't value it a lot. And I don't really like the cover, to be dead honest with you. I don't think it's that cool. But, I mean, these creeps over here are cool, but her herself, I'm not really nutty about this one. There's Vampirella #4. Kind of just a really weird, surreal landscape there. He has the others that I'm missing here, like #3, and we'll probably have to make a deal on those. I'm running out of time, so let me move this along. Vampirella #6. I'm going to stop on this one, though, for just a second. What a crazy cover, dude, right? She's almost looking like a mod here. And I don't know, maybe that was... Sometimes I get the feeling that was the intent behind this character. It's almost like a mod was a style, for those of you that don't know. I don't really know how else to describe mod. I just know it when I see it. She looks like a mod. I think that might have been intentional because she looks like that in a couple of the other ones too. But this one, it really stands out. This is almost like someone's take on Vampirella. It almost doesn't fit in with the rest. I really like this cover. Again, real nice shape on these two for the most part. Most of these are in fine or better. What an awesome one. That saber-toothed tiger. I presume that's Vampirella. I mean, I don't know. I didn't read this one, and it says something out of Witch Woman, so that might be, another character in the story. But what an amazing cover, man. I think that's, I don't know. I actually think that's Frazetta, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't know. I feel like an idiot. I feel like this one should be obvious, but I'm sure someone will tell me. So Vampirella 7, Vampirella 9, real weird cover. I'll bring this one in because the cover is like really super bizarre on this one. The Boy Who Loved Trees. Vampirella here with her ghoul. I think that, yeah, and that's the last one. So I got all of these Vampirella 1 through 10. Missing some issues. It's not the complete set 1 through 10. I got them all for Werewolf by Night 32 in about 5.5 or 5.0. That book is worth some stupid money right now. And I had a copy, and frankly, I mean, Moon Knight's cool and everything, but what? Like first Moon Knight for Vampirella 1 through 10, like 7 of the first 10 or 6 of the first 10, including #1, in good shape. Like, I'm almost like speechless just talking about it. I can't believe the guy traded me, to be honest with you. Not like it's a bad deal. I mean, financially they're about there, but he was happy with it, and he's a dealer, so I know that means he went on to sell it for more, which is good. God bless the guy. I mean, that's the whole point. But first Moon Knight for all these Vampirellas, dude, like, I don't know, man. I feel like I got away with murder on that one. And again, I know he's going to watch the video. It's not like that. I didn't get over on him or anything like that. I just mean circumstantially, that Moon Knight book being worth so much money is crazy to me. And it's certainly not a book I care a whole lot about. If you like it, that's cool. I'm not down in it, but just ain't my thing. Anyway, we're hitting that 15-minute mark, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. But there's my new Vampirella update. Couple really cool issues. Vampirella #1, obviously being the big one. And the fact that I could trade for most of these, or half of these, for a book that has just gone off in price that I don't really care much about personally, we just made this all the sweeter. And the other guy was able to get his money on it too, you know what I mean? He was able to take a hot book, make some bread out of it, and, you know, turn these over to me, and everything worked out. It was a win-win. So anyway, good hanging with you guys. Again, tell me what you think. Would you trade the Moon Knight for the Vampirellas, or do you think I'm off my rocker on that one? Anyway, good talking. We'll check you next time.